Who doesn't like a good twist? It's fun, it's surprising, it arms you with the ammunition to go and ruin a movie for your friends. It has everything! The thing is, once the excitement has calmed down and you really think about things, even shocks that seem to have been executed perfectly actually have some serious flaws which need explaining. And of course, that explanation never comes. I'm Simon from What Culture, and this is 8 brilliant movie plot twists that don't make sense at all. Number 8, Fight Club. The big twist in Fight Club is that Tyler Durden is the same person as the narrator, or Ed Norton's character, and the narrator is the same person as Tyler Durden, even though throughout the film, they're made out to be different people. So the narrator is basically just bonkers. In his madness, he decides to create Fight Club, a nightly activity where friends and loved ones get together to beat the shit out of each other. This is all well and good, but when you realise the twist and think back through the movie, it doesn't make any sense. Just imagine some of the scenes with only one character instead of 2. Why the hell would anyone join this club when it's some mad idiot punching himself in the face? That is not the greatest advert to convince someone to join in. Number 7, Star Wars Episode 5, The Empire Strikes Back. Darth Vader decides the best time to reveal to Luke Skywalker that he's his dad is after he's chopped his hand off. Why the hell did he wait so long to tell him? The reason is because when George Lucas was making Star Wars, he had no idea this twist was coming. That just occurred as he was making the sequel, which explains why Darth seems to have no clue about his offspring during the first film, despite being damn close to him on the Death Star and, the fact they share the last name. It's a twist for the sake of a twist, but it also makes Darth Vader look a bit stupid. Number 6, 7. Serial killer John Doe has decided to murder his victims according to the 7 deadly sins. But it turns out that Doe has killed Mills' wife, hoping that Mills executes him to signify wrath, one of the deadly sins. As Doe just wants to be normal, he takes on the role of Envy and this masterstroke is complete. The problem here is what would Doe have done if Mills hadn't have come into his life and just so happened to bring the exact right circumstances? He would have been screwed. And we know he's been planning this for ages given the nature of the sloth death. That one was a year in the making. Admittedly, he could have just improvised all this on the fly, but that's both implausible and not fitting of a character who is meticulous to the nth degree. Number 5, The Sixth Sense. Malcolm Crowe is dead and he doesn't even realise it. That's the amazing twist at the end of The Sixth Sense, where you realise a dead man has been walking around without even realising he's dead. It works well within the context of the movie, but take a step back, gibberish. Surely Crowe would have had an inkling that something was up. Take the scene with Kid That Can See Dead People, Cole Sears' mother. What we see is the two sitting in silence, leading us to believe it's just an awkward moment. In reality though, she cannot see Malcolm. Surely Malcolm would pick up on that. Like, what's going on here? Why are people not reacting to me like they used to? It's shot deliberately so you can't see all those little things. When you let your brain run wild, ruins it a little bit. Number 4, Citizen Kane. As Charles Foster Kane dies at the start of the movie, he says the iconic words, Rosebud. The rest of the film follows a journalist who tries to find out what these words meant, eventually discovering they were a reference to Kane's childhood sled. Now that's weird to begin with. You're thinking about a piece of plastic that slides on snow. But what's even weirder is how anyone knows what he uttered to begin with. There's no one in the room when he dies. The first person in there is a nurse, and she only goes in there because he dropped a snow globe. The reveal at the end is very nice and all that, but it makes no sense whatsoever. Number 3, Wild Things. Wild Things is bonkers. Following Sam Lombardo, who gets accused of raping 2 female students, Susan and Kelly, he hires lawyer Kevin Bowden to defend him. As it transpires though, they're all working together to split the millions of dollars Lombardo will receive in the end for defamation when the girls reveal, as prearranged, that they were lying. He then doesn't split it however, and then things go nuts and it continues to twist and then twist again until Susie just somehow comes out on top. Now, this is Wild Things, so it shouldn't be given too much credence to begin with, but how the hell is Bowden in it from the start? Lombardo hires him completely randomly according to the story. There was no connection whatsoever and it makes absolutely no sense. Number 2, Unbreakable. Elijah, played by Sam Jackson, sets up a load of terrible events to try and find a superhero on planet Earth. Thankfully, he does, and that man is Bruce Willis or David Dunn in the movie. He is invincible and therefore survives all these tragedies. See, there's 2 problems here. 1, we never find out how many events Elijah has orchestrated to find David, but there's an inkling it's not that many. So let's say 5. How then has he managed not to be arrested given he's basically a terrorist pulling off terrorist acts? 2. How on earth does he find David so quickly, given there is literally billions of people on the planet? You're telling me he succeeded in his goal after just a few catastrophes? I mean, that could happen, but the odds are greatly against it happening, which does hurt the whole twist somewhat. Number 1. The usual suspects. Verbal Kint is Kaiser Soze. Kaiser Soze is Verbal Kint. It's one of the finest plot twists in movie history, right down to the moment police officers receive a fax revealing the true identity of Soze, and yes, he looks just like Kint. But the whole movie revolves around Verbal Kint making stuff up so he can escape custody. He does this very well, but there's a sequence before this which is portrayed as factual, and it's not being narrated for us. Here, Soze wants to kill the man who knows what he looks like, but if that's the case, why does he wait around in the aftermath of the crime so he can be arrested and allow the police to get a good look at his face? All he had to do was bail, and then when the cops got that fax, they'd be none the wiser. Instead of going, oh shit, that guy was right here. The issue there is if you do all that, you've got a pretty crap movie. Know of any other movie twists that make no sense? Let us know in the comments below, and then don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. You can even come tell me on Twitter at SimonMiller316. I'm Simon from What Culture, and you can't see it, but I'm twisting and moving right now.